talking about the AMF, in your opinion, why was it formed? Why did it come about?
Well, there was an attitude in some areas in the UPC that believed, like Brother Gidrose. Brother Gidrose was a wonderful preacher. He was a great preacher. But when he became superintendent of Texas, he expressed even this sentiment that he believed in the Methodist Episcopal system, and he said, he said there's A, B, and C preachers, A, B, and C churches, and I'd like to be able to place the A preacher with the A church, the B preacher with the B church, C preacher with the C church. And he wanted to be able to control everything from him down. Of course, he didn't want anybody controlling him, you know. And that attitude was also like in Louisiana and Oklahoma. That's the states that I was more familiar with.
Gidrose was in Texas?
Yeah, superintendent of Texas.
So is that how he wanted to operate the Texas district?
Yeah.
The whole organization be that way?
Well, he believed, I guess the organization should be that way, but him being in the Texas district, then he would be over the Texas district, and so control of the churches. They wanted to control the churches. In other words, if they had a problem, and in a church, he usually would come in and take the side of the people against the preacher. And Brother Stanton even said that the reason he left Orange because Brother Gidrose told him to. They had a lot of church trouble, and he had just told the church that he wasn't going to leave. He was going to stay. And the next morning, someone went there, and he was loading up, moving trailers and things, and left. And he said the reason he did was because Brother Gidrose told him to leave, and he wished that he hadn't. But then in Louisiana, Brother Gerald built a church, and they had some controversy. He had borrowed some money or something from the district. Anyway, they took it away from him and put him out after he had been there and built it up and built the church. Yeah, took the church away, sued for it. So
Did this go to a higher court or a kangaroo court within the organization?
I guess it was, I'm not real sure. I think it was in a court, but the organization testified against him and all. And they had loaned money into it. Therefore, they had what they felt like an interest in it. And there was a strong belief and a practice. They tried to force everybody, every church, to affiliate with the organization.
But they couldn't make them. They tried.
They tried to pressure them to do it. But Brother A.T. Morgan had been pastor of Port Arthur before he became general superintendent. And he incorporated that church, which is incorporation supersedes an affiliation unless you affiliate your corporation. And so when Brother Burr had his problems, they came down and tried to take that church, but he was incorporated, and they couldn't do it. And so Brother Burr said that Brother Gidros told him, he said, we may have to examine your credentials then. And he said, well, Brother Morgan is the one that incorporated it. And he said that Brother Gidros said, well, we may have to examine his. That was just a statement of frustration because Brother Morgan was general superintendent. But Nathan Urshan never did affiliate his church in Indianapolis. It was incorporated. He never affiliated. And while they were trying to force affiliation, like the Assembly of God, they control all properties. And so that was the way it was going. And if they got into controversy, and preachers was losing their churches. It happened a few times. Brother Burr wrote the article, "The Shadow of the Bramble," and he wrote the bramble in the scriptures as an allegory of organization control. And so the AMF formed not over doctrinal issues, not over whether the Holy Ghost was essential or not, or Jesus' name baptism, or even holiness. It formed over one thing, and that was sovereignty of the local church. That every man is a bishop of his own church. And in the Bible, a bishop was actually a pastor of Timothy, Paul, the scripture made mention that he was a bishop of the church, and so it meant it meant nothing more than a pastor, ruler of his own church. Later on, in organizational systems, they borrowed from other churches, like the Methodists and Episcopal and even the Catholics, and made the bishop a high office, like a political office. But anyway, Brother Burr wrote the article on the Shadow of the Bramble and the idea that every man is bishop in his own church. And that was the foundation of the AMF.
Did he start that? Did he start the standard before the AMF was formed? Brother Burr?
I think he did. Yeah. He wrote articles. He used to be editor of the Texas district paper. Brother Burr was powerful. Yeah, I think so. The Brother Burr was a powerful writer. In fact, I heard Brother Oliver Falls say one time he wished he could preach like Brother Burr writes. Brother Burr was a more powerful writer than he was a preacher. He was a strong, powerful preacher, but I mean he was more impressive as a writer. I mean, Brother Burr was good and solid and all like that, but he wasn't an orator as like Apollos. The Bible said he was eloquent. There are eloquent preachers that are not all that solid, strong on some points. But anyway, that was the reason. And also other districts, like in Oklahoma, it was bad. Now in Missouri, it wasn't that way you could preach for somebody else that wasn't in the organization and they wouldn't bother you, or preach somebody that wasn't in. But in Oklahoma, they would file charges on you if you preached somebody that wasn't in the organization. And that's the way it got in Louisiana, and it was getting away in Texas. And so they wanted to control all the churches and the preachers, and that's what the resistance was to. Now, after the AMF formed, I think the UPC lightened up some on that. Brother Urshan never did affiliate Indianapolis. Said he saw no need in it. But they didn't like it. They wanted to be like the Assemblies of God and control churches and church property, which
He also preached and visited PAW conventions and churches of other organizations himself.
another thing, there was no way you could get out of the UPC clean. You couldn't just resign. They'd put a question on you. And so it was just a matter of control. Later on, they kind of backed off of some of that. But
So you feel like it was a necessary thing? It had to come about?
I think it probably was, yeah. I don't think UPC would have lightened up any if it hadn't happened.
Well, who was the initial steering committee, or the ones that got together to decide? Remember those individuals?
Well, there was several that brought forth the idea. The
Brother Burr, one of them?
Yeah, Brother Burr, Brother O'Brien, Brother Spell, several did, but then the formation of it was at Baker.
What took place in Fort Worth?
It was just called, it was not a formation. It was an expression of their feelings.
Was that in July?
Yeah, July the
So it
4th.
took place to Brother Shue's regular 4th of July conference.
Yeah. Brother O'Brien was there. I preached. I think Brother O'Brien preached. Brother Bean, several. And I just brought out sovereignty of the local church in my message. And but there was no formation of anything.
What was your message about?
I can't remember what text I used or whatever. I
That
can't.
wasn't about the lesser vision, was it?
No.
So that was in July, right?
Yeah.
And in August, everybody went to Baker. There's been a lot of talk about the 72 men that crossed the proverbial line.
That's where preachers made a commitment. Now,
Was that in Baker?
yeah. Now, most of those in AMF, the reason that they formed it as a fellowship, they never intended to be an organization. And most of them intended to stay in the UPC. But, of course, the UPC wouldn't allow it. You had to choose one or the other.
So that's the pressure that was put on you guys.
Yeah, and if you did join the AMF, you either had to resign or they'd file charges on you, kick you out. So that's why I resigned. I went to St. Louis and talked with Brother Branding personally, and he told me that, he said, you can preach anybody you want to, and we won't say a word about it. I said, well, what if I go somewhere, like in Oklahoma or Louisiana, and preach for somebody that's not in the UPC? He said, well, we can't do anything about it. They file charges on you. We can't help. We can't do anything.
Because each state was sovereign in itself.
Yeah, he said, you can preach anybody you want to, and we won't bother you. We won't do anything about it. But
you weren't allowed to go to.
no, if I went to Oklahoma and preached for somebody that wasn't in the UPC, they'd file charges on me. I went to
What would the
Louisiana.
basis of those charges be? I mean, what could they possibly say?
Well, it was just they wanted such a tight control. They wanted to control who you even fellowshipped,
But if that went to a trial, it had to be a UPC executive board that you would face, right?
I suppose the district board, they could drop you from fellowship. And if they'd put a question on you, they'd charge you with something.
Who decided it was going to be called Apostolic Ministers Fellowship?
I don't know. It was discussed. I can't remember all those things about it. I didn't preach at it. Brother Bean preached. He preached on Don't Drop the Baby. Brother Kavanaugh preached. And I remember he preached on Make All Things According to the Pattern, and Jimmy Davis preached about walking with God. He had a great illustration.
Was there a big crowd at that Baker meeting?
Pretty good sized crowd. Cannell was there from Florida. He was a superintendent. He was there spying it out, writing down everybody's name, and so he could report to the organization over it.
How was he treated by everybody?
Well, he got in a fuss with Brother Free. I didn't go around him, but they got into it. Wasn't no screaming match, but
so the AMF basically it had a good cause for a few years, right?
we had some good men, strong men. It was some wonderful times, wonderful conferences, meetings, great preaching. It later disintegrated.
What caused disintegration?
Oh, contention. There was a few that just had a rebellious spirit. Like they kicked the traces of organization, and therefore they didn't want to be bound by any kind of code or conduct or anything, It has to be respect. You got to have discipline in the church, even, and a code of conduct. You can't just be a wild bunch. But as a whole, it was. We had some wonderful meetings, wonderful conferences.
So, tell me how the general chairman is chosen.
Well, I suppose Brother Burr came up with the idea of the lot system, modeled on replacing of Judas as an apostle. he said, choose out two good men filled with the Holy Ghost and faith, and then they chose lots, a lot system, and one was chosen to be the 12th apostle in replacement of Judas. That's where he got the idea, I'm sure. And so then they use a method, and I guess still do. When they vote on a chairman, they take the two highest in the voting, and then they put two names in and draw one out. So it's
Two highest meaning that
in number of votes. Say you have, well, we'll just use a number. Say you have 100 votes, and it's like 60-40. Oh well, say one has 50 votes, another one has 30 votes, another one has 20. Well, they'll take the two highest. They'll take the 50 and the 30, and then they draw lots. They draw, cast a lot, and the one that has 50 may not be chosen. So it'll be almost like by chance. And there's good points to it, and sometimes there's not.
who was the first general chairman?
Brother Elder Cavanis. He was
Somebody
chosen
said-
about 3 times in a row.
Well, somebody said he served 3 consecutive terms.
Yeah,
Are those 2-year terms?
yeah.
But there's no limit as to how many terms you can actually serve in a lifetime.
No.
Can you name off the top of your head some of the chairmen that you can recollect?
Well,
Cabinets.
Brother Cavanis, the second one, I'm not sure, was it O'Brien?
I don't know where that came in.
Brother Burr was chosen one time. Brother Cavanis, Brother Burr, Brother O'Brien. I don't know exactly in order now. It's been a long time back.
Did Brother O'Brien quit his term?
No, he served it out, but Brother O'Brien was sort of strange in the fact that even in the UPC, he never went to general conference. He'd stay home. His wife would go, maybe lead the choir, but he'd stay home. And that's sort of the way he was in AMF. He didn't always go. So
Maybe he didn't want to preach.
it was. Well, he has preached. He was chosen to preach. Brother Cavanis, I don't know who the second one was. If it was Burr or O'Brien.
And then Brother Free, huh?
Free.
How did you
And then
come
me.
about becoming the chairman?
Well, I was assistant chairman
To
once under once or twice under Brother Cavanis, and then under Brother Free. I was selected chairman, and then in Baker, Brother Free had been chairman, and he was selected again, and I was selected as assistant.
You said Baker. Baker's where it started.
Kingsport.
Kingsport, Tennessee, 1977.
Yeah.
That was your first term?
No, I was chairman when we went there, but it was, then Brother Free was chosen to replace me, and I was chosen as assistant again. So when Brother Free got in that building program, he got so bogged down, he felt like that he just was overloaded, and he resigned, and that put me back in to fill his.
Brother Bean's passing didn't have nothing to do with that. You've been selected.
No, Brother Bean passed, and Brother Free was made pastor of Brother Bean's church. Then he got into that building program, and he felt like he was just overloaded, so he resigned, and then I had to fill out his term. I was general chairman probably about 3 years, and assistant chairman several times. I don't remember how many.
As an assistant general chairman, you actually have to do anything? You just stand by in case they
Yeah,
need you. In case of an emergency or
yeah.
incapacitation.
You're on the board, you know, the General Council of Elders, and have been deciding things, but
You remember what year it was that the AMF changed its name? Was it around 1990?
I wasn't at that conference. I was sort of about backed out of it by then. They,
That was after the passing of Brother Cavis or before?
before,
He passed in 88.
yeah.
Didn't that take place in Cincinnati?
I don't know if it was Cincinnati. I didn't go. That's when they divided it up into districts and things.
And then they changed the name to ACI.
ACI. I think Brother Bowie would mastermind that.
What did that stand for?
Apostolic
Churches
Church,
International.
yeah, International, I think. Now I think they're going back to the AMF. I don't know.
Well,
Because I dropped out of it later.
I think what happened was somebody was wanting to use the name AMF. Start another group. At least that was the rumor I was told. And so to keep that from happening, they had to go back and do a DBA.
I don't know. It made a turn there that I just didn't feel comfortable with them anymore, so I just backed out of it. The attitude of many.
Kind of took a paradigm shift, didn't it?
Yeah.
So the original reason, purpose, and mission of the AMF, once it got off course, it just, there was a lot of preachers dropped out, wasn't
It seemed like that it sort of took a shift, turn that they wanted to control everybody, you know, dominate everybody, and got away from every man, every pastor, bishop of his own church and stuff. It just took a turn I didn't agree with, so I just quit going, dropped out.
it? They've always maintained the missionary program, haven't they?
I think so. Brother Spell pretty well headed that for many years, up until the last few years. I think he dropped out of it.
And so the Apostolic Standard has always been their official organ, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think it's changed much. It's been
Brother Burr was the first editor of it. I don't remember who took it over.
Brother Cavis Jr. took it from him. down.
Brother Burr got disenchanted with it, and he backed out of it. Brother O'Brien backed out of it. And Brother Ballester was chairman also. I can't remember exactly now the sequences.
Probably have to look at them standards to follow
It
it.
was after I had been chairman.
I think Brother Gilmer was the chairman.
Brother Gilmer was chairman a couple of times.
Shepherd was.
I wasn't in it then.
Brother
Shepherd.
Spell's been the chairman before, several times.
Yeah, I wasn't active in it that time.
It seemed like at one point AMF was a pretty good sized fellowship before it started.
Yeah. I don't remember the peak number of preachers in it, but it was a pretty good sized number.
The biggest conference I remember was in '78 at Little Rock, that year that Steve Bender preached. That's the biggest crowd I remember. It might be bigger than that somewhere else. So is there anything else you want to add? Anything about the history of the AMF? That covers it.
Well, I don't know. It was very good in the beginning. The first several years of it was very good. Good spirit. It got to be attitude like more of what we came out of.
When you was on your way out of the UPC, how did those men treat you and react to all this as you was making the move?
Well, a lot of men had the attitude that if you're not with us, you're against us, and some of them didn't want to have anything to do with you. There are statements. If you see him, go eat with him, but don't fellowship him, and stuff like that. But I never did quit. I never did quit preaching for the UPC in other places. They asked me, other churches, California and different places, and I preached through the years. I never did.
Did Missouri give you a hard time?
Well, some resented me leaving, but nobody asked me to preach in the UPC in Missouri, and some treated me very cool. But over the years, they've changed their attitude, a lot of them. But I never did just fight them, I never did make a effort of downing the UPC.